We are now living in a world where AI can speak, listen, make images, write code. And so tonight we're going to look at DALL-E 3, what's new in ChatGPT, what's new in Semantic Kernel, all this and more. I'm Adam Kogan. Let's get into it. G'day team, Adam Kogan here for tonight's SSW Tech News, and we've got a lot on. Tonight we are going to be seeing a session by Tyler Kappa on Vercel, and that's simplifying your development with zero configuration. He's got a really good session. He's from the Brisbane office, so you'll really enjoy how simple this is. All right, the biggest news of the month is OpenAI, and they have released DALL-E 3. So this is our third version of image generation, but it can also recognize things. So the first thing that I did is I gave it a picture of what I was doing last night, and it's just a picture of me going rock climbing. I said, I didn't even say a thing. I just put the image there to see what it would do. And it says, oh, that's a great indoor rock climbing facility. Looks like you had a fun time. Indoor climbing is a fantastic way to challenge yourself and stay active. And then from that point on, you could ask it some questions. So it's really cool. Don't even have to write anything anymore. Now, one of the things that DALL-E 3 can do that Midjourney can't, because Midjourney is really, really strong at making beautiful images, is spatial orientation. So you can say, look, I want an image in the right or the left or in the distance or whatever. So let's have a look at what Seth just did from our office only a half an hour ago. He was just testing it out, and he said here, make me a photo of a series of steps emanating a radiant red hue, it's for the company colors, with a state-of-the-art design extending towards a magnificent structure in the backdrop. So he said, put that further away, and that's kind of what he's done. Looks a little religious actually. And then he had another go, and what has he said this time? Make a photo of a futuristic wooden bridge with red undertones featuring steps that ascend upwards, starting from the viewer's viewpoint and leading towards. So there you go. That's what he's done there. He's done another one here, and then just kept trying and seeing different versions. Very cool. You can do a lot of things that designers could only do before, or even designers couldn't do stuff with this with Photoshop. And it's quick and easy. So very cool. Lots and lots of things here. And there's another one, getting more complicated. It's looks like some roadways under there. Yeah, lots of fun. You'll have heaps of fun with that. Coincidentally, just last night, does anyone recognize that building? Well, I got that building given to me via a text message from a friend who thinks I know things. And he was at a trivia night, and he sends me and says, you wouldn't happen to know what this thing is, would you? I'm in a trivia game, and of course I didn't recognize it, and it was a very blurry photo, and I just uploaded it, and it said, I used the ChatGPT app, I've got it on the iPad, and I said, what's this? And it said, well, the image is not very clear, so this is tentative identification based on the provided information, but it might be a parliament building, and based on that design, it's probably the National Congress of Brazil, located in Brasilia. The design with those two vertical towers and the dome structure is characteristic of the works of the famous architect Oscar Niemeyer. So, pretty phenomenal, hey? Amazing. Anyway, now, ChatGPT not just does images, it can now see, hear, and speak. So you don't need to type anything. You can just speak to it, and it will talk back. So this is really Siri. We can hear its voice.
We want to hear a bedtime story. Tell us a story about the super-duper sunflower hedgehog named Larry. Start with telling us a little bit about him. Larry was a unique hedgehog unlike any other. He had bright sunflower petals instead of spines.
Right, so you get the idea. Just speak and it speaks back. So pretty cool. There's a lot of examples here that you could use. You know, you're writing, you're cooking. How do I do this? Okay. All right. So next piece of news, Chat Copilot integration. So ChatGPT is awesome. You might want it for your company. So for example, I'll just step back and tell you on our homepage, if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a chat widget. Now this chat widget used to be very basic and just most of the time say, sorry, I couldn't answer that question. I will send an email and someone will get back to you. Now it's a lot more intelligent. If I was to say, hey, do you do React and Azure and whatever you want, it will now respond in a very ChatGPT-like style. Yes, we've got a ton of experts, a team of experts who specialize in both React and Azure. Here's a link. Look, you know, you can even book a free initial meeting with us. So it's a lot more helpful than it used to be. People expect this style of chat experience these days. Now, if you want to build your own, so you can use this new service from Microsoft, which is Chat Copilot, and using semantic memory, you can produce an experience such as that. Now, we didn't for that, because this has only just come out. We used a third-party provided tool and then built our own stuff on top of it, and that's also another way to go. But you might want to get really sophisticated. And then it all depends on the intelligence of the semantic kernel, really. And the semantic kernel has had an update, and here is an update, and there is a ton of work being thrown into this semantic kernel. Okay. Next piece of news, Playwright. Now, Playwright is a way of testing your applications. We use it a lot. We have some rules on that. I might just quickly, actually, I could have used that tool, but I could just search SSW rules, Playwright. And here we go. And it's all about UI automated testing. There is a nice video here by Matt Goldman, how we use it here, so that's quite useful. Now, one of the problems with Playwright is that you need a fair bit of power to run it. Who's got a lot of power? Well, Azure have a lot of power, so there's now a Microsoft Playwright testing service. So they're just kicking this off. This is a really, really important service, and that's great. It's going to get a lot more traction using Playwright in your application development. Next piece of news. All right, more development stuff, and this is Azure API management. Now, when you build a large enterprise application, or even a small app, really, you want a whole lot of telemetry. You want security on it. You want to stop it. You want caching. So you want a lot of this stuff that will make your API more resilient. Now, one of the problems has been if you in any big company, you'll want VNet integration. Now, the VNet integration feature was only on the big expensive tier, which was $5,000 a month. They've now moved that down into the basic tier or the standard tier, and so it's gone down to about $1,000 a month. So $12,000 a year for this great service, telling you what the problems are with your API is really important. So that's going to really increase the usage of API management. This will probably become pretty standard now. Next piece of news, GitHub Copilot Chat. So you're using GitHub, and you can now ask it questions. So this GitHub Copilot, so if you have VS Code, and you can now just open that up and say, hey, tell me any bugs in this file. Can you write me some unit tests for this? And now everyone has access to this. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's all good to go. Every developer will be a lot smarter for this. And the amount you can do in one day that will far exceed what you could probably do in weeks in the old days. Next piece of news, Arc.net. Now this is a new browser. This is coming to Windows, but right now it's only on the Mac. Let's take a look at why this is cool. Now I'm just going to pause it there for a second because on Friday, Brady was using this, and this is not a browser I use, I'm still on Edge, and he had a whole page of content. We were running a brainstorming where on that page it had each team name and the members, team name and the members, and there's about 60 or 70 people here, and he's trying to manage them all. Someone didn't turn up, and he said, which team could I allocate this person to? I want it to be a team with low numbers. And so it just looks at the page and you can ask any intelligent question that you would like. So in this case, the person said, this page is too long. So give me a summary. Nice little video. There you go. So anyway, that might be the next cool browser that you might try. Next piece of news, Atlassian. Wow, Atlassian have acquired Loom. Okay, Loom have a very cool tool that a lot of developers here use. When we do a feature in a sprint, we often record what we call a done video. Now you can record it using Camtasia or something else. And I'll tell you, we also have a rule for this, which is SSW done video. And the done videos that we do all the time, there's a bunch of different tools out there. One of those tools that we use is called Loom, okay? And Loom is a very nice little tool. I prefer recording it with Loom and putting it still on my YouTube channel. But you could just record it and it automatically uploads it to Loom, and it's great. Atlassian have just bought that. So they didn't just buy Trello, now they've bought Loom, and they're just down the road there in Sydney, and that's a big call, Great. Video capability is very important in their Confluence product or their Jira product. Next piece of news. All right, Microsoft have closed a huge deal, 109 billion, bigger than LinkedIn, bigger than any of their other deals actually. It's huge. So they've bought Activision. I'm not sure how I feel about big companies buying other big companies. However, if they didn't, Sony wouldn't have any serious competition. At least it's not the biggest company buying another big company. Obviously Microsoft is huge, but we're just talking, the gaming division. Microsoft is not the leader. But now they've got Activision. They will now be able to, because, Sony are obviously the kings with PlayStation, but they are tying their games to only work on PlayStation. Hopefully, games that Microsoft release will play on all platforms, but they're probably going to follow, they can follow the lead, I guess, and only have their games play on their own platform. That will be sad if that's what we end up having to need a whole lot of gaming platforms to play the games we want, but that's kind of what's happening with all the, Netflix and Disney and all the other streaming services. Everyone's tying down. Now, talking about people that tie things down, Apple, iPhone 15, it's out. It's expensive, and it's got this cool new feature, it charges with USB-C. Isn't that amazing? I love it when Apple invent these cool ideas. And they didn't even mention that they were forced to do it from the EU. Anyway, Pixel 8 have a new phone out too. that's also very cool, whichever way you're going. All right, now we talked last month about the fun of Unity. The CEO decided to change the pricing model, and boy, did he change it. You should look back at that episode to see what he did. It was almost comical. Anyway, so we did predict that he was going to have to step down, and he did step down. So, and if you read the story, you'll probably find out that this was an own goal. He didn't even need to do this. Nobody was pressuring him to do it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, all right. Now, Tesla, they have finally, this has taken a long time, they have released an API. Well, they always had an API, but we didn't have access to it. So now we can call an API and see things. So, a company that has a whole bunch of Teslas, they will, especially the companies the rental companies, they will definitely want this. You can see where all your cars are. With one click of a button, you can turn the heated seats on every single Tesla. You can do a lot of crazy fun things. You can see how I don't know if you'll be able to see how they're driving, but you can definitely get a lot of information. We'll see what they open up and what they don't open up. Anyway, that's been a long time coming. All right, so hopefully that was good. If we missed any news, please throw it down there in the comments. We want to hear. If you disagree with anything I said, throw it down there in the comments. We've got a whole lot of all the old tech news here and lots of other great videos, always releasing good ones. I'd be happy to hear from you. And I will see you next month. And this is Adam Kogan signing off for SSW TV.